So Minecraft 1.5 was just released, and I wanted to do a quick video just to go over some of the new features and some of the new things that have been added. Now, I won't be going over everything because there is a lot of new things in this update. It's called the Redstone update, so obviously most of the things are Redstone related, and I'm not too good with the Redstone stuff, so I won't even attempt to explain the things I don't understand. If you want to look at all of the new things that have been added and changed, I will leave a link in the description to the Reddit page, which has got a detailed list of everything, so you can go and look at that. The first thing you'll notice is obviously there's no texture pack thing here anymore, because that Minecraft Realms thing will be added here eventually. But if you want to get to texture packs, you just go in options and it's there, and that's where you can get the texture packs from. But other than that, I think everything else is the same. So let's jump in game and I'll show you some of the changes and things. So like I said, I'm not going to go through everything that's been added and changed in this update, but I'll go through some of the things I understand. So let's get started. These are the new nether quartz ore blocks that have been added to the nether. Obviously they'll spawn in newly generated areas in the nether, but when you mine these you get these, which are nether quartz. Now with these nether quartz you can make a quartz block, which is just pretty much plain white block, and there's a recipe for it, just 4 nether quartz. It's a pretty cool looking block. With that you can make these, which are the pillars type thing, I presume you can call them, nether quartz or quartz pillars. They look pretty awesome. You make them just by putting 2 of these blocks on top of each other. With these blocks as well you can make obviously stairs and slabs, all the usual things which you would expect. And when you make the slabs, if you put them 2 on top of each other, you get this funky looking block which has got some weird pattern on it, but it looks pretty cool. So yeah, cool new blocks. Now you have a way to create nether bricks finally. To do that you just basically put netherrack in a furnace and that will smelt down to nether brick, and then you put it in the a 4x4 grid and that'll make nether bricks, which is pretty awesome. Daylight sensors have been added, which is pretty self-explanatory. This is how you make them: 3 glass, 3 nether quartz, and some slabs at the bottom. It's pretty self-explanatory what they do. It's a daylight sensor. When it's daylight and the sun's out, it'll obviously give a output. So if you put like an inverter on here or something, when it goes nighttime, and this will turn off. I know you could turn on a lamp or something. That's pretty cool. I can see a lot of things coming off this. This thing, what's it called again? It's called a redstone comparator. I don't know what the bloody hell that is. I don't know what it's used for. It's confusing, but that's how you make it if you wanted to mess around with it yourself. You can also make redstone blocks now, which is a cool way to store redstone, and it gives a permanent output as well, which is pretty cool. They can be moved by pistons, I believe. I'm pretty sure they can be moved by pistons, so that's pretty cool. There's some more pressure plates added. There's a iron one and a gold one. These won't activate when you step on them. They only activate when you have items on them. They are basically, this one's a light pressure plate and this one's a heavy pressure plate, and basically the way these work is the more items you have on the pressure plate, the further the redstone current will go. Obviously the lighter one will take less items to reach like a further distance. As you can see, that only took like half a stack to reach the piston, but the heavier one takes a lot more. I think it's about 3 stacks this one needs. Yeah, that takes 3 stacks just to reach that far. So they can be used for cool things. Say if you've got a trap, you can kind of determine how many items are on the pressure plate or not. I don't know if weight is different with different items. I don't know how that works, but that's just the basics of that. The next thing is a trapped chest, which is made by one of them, whatever they're called, and a chest. Basically what this does is, every time it opens it sends a redstone signal out, which can be used for like TNT traps and stuff like that, or piston floors or anything, I don't know, but it's a pretty cool thing. Now the next thing, which is my favourite addition, is the hoppers. This is how you make them. These are an extremely useful thing, I think, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for this type of thing to be added into the game for a very long time. I know it's been in a couple of mods, but now it's actually in the game. Basically, they are automatic sorters, I suppose you can call them. If an item drops into one of them, it'll automatically get put into the dropper, the hopper, sorry. And if you've got a chest underneath it, it'll put it into the chest straight away. So you can just throw a bunch of stuff in here. It'll get put in there and then eventually put into the chest, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of different things you can do with these. For example, if you've got this type of thing, you can put something in the chest like that, and as you can see, it slowly gets taken out, put into the hopper, and then put into the chest. But if you put a redstone signal right next to the hopper, it will freeze it, and nothing else will pass through. So you could do some really cool elaborate systems with this, and then you just remove the redstone current, and it will continue to do its business. We also have a new thing added to rails, which is the activator rail. This is how you make it. It's basically when it's got a redstone current to it. If you put a TNT in a minecart, which you can do now, you can also put these hoppers in minecarts. If you put TNT in a minecart and it goes over one of these whilst activated, it will activate the TNT, which obviously you can do some sort of, I don't know, trap thing. You can send some TNT to your friend's house on a server or something and destroy him. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so this thing is the dropper, I believe it's called. This is how you make it. It's very simple. One thing you can do now with dispensers and these new droppers is you can face them up and down, which is very cool. The only way I can explain it is the dropper drops the item like that. It won't ever use an effect, it'll just drop the item, and the dispenser will use the item. So like that. So the items in these two are exactly the same in the dispenser and the dropper. They're both exactly the same. But the dropper will drop the item like that, and the dispenser will use the item. So that's how that works. You can use that for cool things, like you can do automatic farms with these, because you could use bone meal and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Another cool thing you can do with dispensers now is if you've got a little setup like this and there's armor in the dispensers, if you walk within one block of them and activate it, you'll automatically wear the armor, which is obviously very cool. So you can have like some quick setup type thing, like walk through a little tunnel, get all your armor on and go on an adventure. So that's pretty cool. Now the last thing I wanted to mention is the change to bone meal. Normally with bone meal, when you put it on trees or seeds, for example, it'll automatically put the seeds and whatever to its full growth thing, but that doesn't work anymore. You have to do it a couple of times for it to get to its full growth thing. I think it's kind of random how it works. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3. But yeah, you just basically have to. It takes more bone meal to grow things to its full growth like stage. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about with the new update. There is a lot more things obviously, but I haven't touched on them because I don't know. I want you to go and actually look, and there is a lot, so it would have taken ages to do it all. Really quickly, I'll show you this working when it's night time. So as you can see, when it turns night time, it will turn off, and when it's daytime, it'll turn back on. So you can do some cool things with these light sensors. But yeah, like I said, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this update. Again, there is a lot more things. If you want to check them out, there'll be a link in the description to go to the Reddit page for you to look at. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.